Well, our first guest knows all about what goes into these polls. And joining us tonight is public opinion pollster Scott Rasmussen, also the editor-at-large of Ballotpedia. And Scott, it is great to see you and to have you on the broadcast. I can't wait to get your opinion of all the polling that's going on and where you think we're headed on Election Day, if indeed that's the day we get the count.
Well, first off, I think it's wrong. It's great to be back with you, but it's wrong to talk about Election Day. It's been election month, and it could be recount month coming up in November. This is an extraordinary situation, and the biggest challenge for pollsters are not things like shy voters or some of the other stuff that we hear about or rigged polls. The biggest problem is none of us have ever polled during a pandemic before. I was pretty young in 1918. I don't remember that pandemic all that well. And so trying to figure out who's going to actually cast a vote this year is going to be very difficult. And the big challenge are people who will say they're going to mail in their ballots.
And do you understand why Nancy Pelosi was telling Democrats to vote in person now after haranguing everyone, all of the entire party for months, to vote early and mail in your ballot?
Absolutely. It's because the Democrats made a tactical error. They assumed early on that people would be afraid to vote in person and that this would be a great gimmick to get their voters to the polls. And what they forgot is that, first off, a lot of people who say they're going to put a ballot in the mail don't. Second, a lot of people who fill out a mail-in ballot get it wrong. And therefore, their votes don't count. This is, in my polling right now, we show that among people who tell us they're going to vote by mail, Joe Biden is up by 51 points. If they all get their ballots in, Biden is going to win easily on Election Day, assuming they're filled out properly and they count. And that's where the Democrats' concern is. They want these ballots mailed in person. Or handed in person.
You think that Biden would win based on the early vote?
Yes,
is that what you're saying?
Now there's no doubt in the polling that I've done and that others have done that the people who show up to vote on Election Day are going to be very heavily favoring President Trump. My polling shows he's up by 25 points among people who will vote on Election Day. Right. Biden is leading among people who have voted early in person so far, but that mail-in vote very heavily pro-Biden. And again, the Democrats are getting nervous that not all of those votes will be filled out properly. And nationally, it doesn't matter. But in states like Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Florida, Michigan, all of these states, it could make a significant difference.
Who wins, Scott? Who wins?
Right now, I would say Joe Biden wins, but it's close enough the president can maybe pull off a miracle comeback.
Scott Rasmussen, good to have you with us. Thanks so much, Scott. Good to see you.